All right, we are back from the break, and I understand that someone may be wanting to make a little change for the night. Lafdul?
Hmm. How hard was it to get
Hey,
here?
hey, hey.
You're pretty sure you could get back to the clearing without trouble, quote unquote.
Just mistakenly walking to the uh, uh, poles of the planet.
Well, worst case scenario, I just fly straight up. Then I know where the clearing is. If I get lost.
Yeah.
I'd get eaten by a dragon.
Yeah.
So is that
There's
what you
always
want
a
to do?
chance and everything. Yeah.
Well, hang on. The question was, and get eaten by a dragon, and then you said, "Is that what you want to do?"
Yes, that's what he wants to do.
Always.
Look, that's why he's planning to go chase after Jewel. He wants to get eaten by a dragon.
And Jewel specifically.
Yes. All right. So, Lafdul, are you going to sneak out, or are you going to be pretty clear that you're going out?
No, I'm being clear that I'm going out.
Okay. So as you go down the stairs and go to
And I tell the party what I'm doing.
go into the hallway, Mailing appears from up the spiral staircase and says to you quizzically, "Is there something wrong?"
I'm heading back to the flitter.
You
Keep an
know
eye
there's
on
a
it.
storm out, a rainstorm out right now, right? You can hear the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Occasional boom of thunder. Well, all right, that is your choice. Have a pleasant night, I suppose.
Godspeed and all that, I think, might be more appropriate. Wish me luck. I don't exactly look thrilled at the prospect, don't get me wrong, but, following a gut feeling here.
May the
Did
Rain
Lafdul
Lord
want-
look after you.
Did Lafdul not want someone to go with him?
No, I mentioned to the party, I've not snuck off. I have said that I'm going back to the Flitter. Just what I'm doing.
I suppose Braxon would follow.
No, you can stay here. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. If you happen to fall after, you happen to fall after.
Fine. Okay.
Solas is going to be enjoying very comfy bed.
It is a comfy bed.
Mm-hmm.
It is a comfy bed. Clearly an import.
Yeah, Lafdul's going to have a horrible, miserable night in the Flitter. Oh well, this is his own choice.
Just before Lafdul leaves, Solas basically is going to go, "Oh, this is a really comfy bed."
Yeah.
All right. Lafdul, do you have any sort of wilderness proficiencies that would help you get through the woods?
Other than herbalism.
Okay. No direction sense, nothing like that?
Nope.
Okay.
No spells, no.
Alright, let's see if you get lost.
No
Don't worry,
climbing
there's a lower chance of getting lost because you know which way you came in and out and everything like that. Okay, takes you a bit longer than you expected to get back, but you do eventually find your way to the field. You are completely soaked through at this point.
Is the flitter still there?
Oh yeah, Flitter's still there.
Oh, that's good then. I check the flitter, and then I somehow camp down in the flitter somewhere in this terrible drenched pool after.
You climb in under the tarp.
Mm.
All right. Did you bring anything with you in particular that might help you sleep?
Not really. No.
Okay.
All my stuff's up on the ship.
All right.
So whatever I can scrounge around.
Lafdul basically wants to be very certain that he gets the specific spot on Flitter.
Okay.
I could always fly the flitter for the storm and get it destroyed.
Did I forget to say that Braxon put some gravel into the flitter to act as ballast?
You wouldn't have put gravel in where he would be sleeping anyway.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. You're going to be making him roll to see whether he can do anything in the morning, aren't you?
Not exactly that.
I might
I
have
may
to.
not get my spells back in the morning, but I've not cast any spells, so I'm not
I
that
might
bothered.
I might have to memorize cure disease.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that was the thought.
So, Lafdul, you make the best of it.
Worst case scenario,
there's
I do have
some.
a scroll of protection from cold.
Well, the
Worst
thing
case
is that it's
scenario.
not exactly cold. I mean, you're wet. You're not shivering because you're out of the wind.
I can warm myself up a little bit with my dagger, though I don't like a light bulb, probably. I can do it sheltered enough, though.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to like fall asleep with that out
No,
like that.
just to dry myself off a little bit where I can.
Okay.
Accidentally setting the flitter on fire.
So you
In a
make the
storm,
you make the best of it. You try to sleep with a coil of rope as a pillow as best you can.
I got a cloak. It's not that bad.
Yeah, the cloak
Yeah,
is
probably.
soaked through. Even if you use your dagger, it's not dried out entirely. It's just not quite as it's more damp rather than soaked.
You basically got soaked to the bone.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right.
And your boots are full of water.
So
Right, Lafdul may have to take other spells if he can memorize spells online. If not, he's
give
still got the
me
same spells.
give me a Constitution check, please.
What's my con? 14, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, at least you have a decent Constitution.
Lafdul has the worst experience of his life.
So, Lafdul, you wake up the next morning, and you have the mother of all colds.
I take it I can't change my spells.
No,
Hang
you
on.
can. You can. That doesn't affect your ability to
So I
memorize
can
spells.
just take Cure Disease and get rid of it next time.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm gonna let Cure Disease handle a cold.
Oh, really?
Has
Yeah.
Lafdul caught that thing off the cows that kills the cows?
No, I just have a code.
Yeah, that's what you
I'm
think
just looking
now.
at my spells.
It's
and
just
my
yeah,
spell.
guys, oh my nose is, oh yeah, hi, you know, that kind of thing. That's how Lafdul's gonna be going forward.
I knew it.
Sneezing, coughing,
Very
stuffed
good for casting
nose.
spell.
Yeah, that's gonna have some impact on your ability to cast spells, not on your ability to memorize them.
Lafdul most likely would also have a bit muscle and joint
I'm
aches.
gonna use the equivalent of my healing and herbalism proficiency to see if I can at least reduce the symptoms.
Yeah, I will actually let Cure Disease take care of that.
Now,
To a
That's whether or not I
degree. To a
cast-
degree. It'll get rid of the chance of spell failure, but you're still going to be a bit sniffly.
no, I can have like Aura of Comfort up as well to make it more bearable for me for the day.
I don't think Aura of Comfort would have anything to do with
but I'm not
your.
going to be cold.
Well, you're not cold. You're just
No, I'll just
sniffly
recover.
and sneezy and coffee. You're just not as
I'm going to
bad
memorize
as.
it anyway, because in case
Okay.
Lafdul goes out
Alright.
camping again,
All right.
he's going to have his Aura of Comfort when he sleeps.
All right.
Well, if he can't cast any spells, then he doesn't need Cat's or Strength.
Ah, what? Wasn't using that for pickpocketing that anyway, yeah. And besides, you would be casting on other people, so I'm nowhere near you. I will, obviously, when the spells are up, I would cast the Cure Disease myself to at least try to reduce the effects.
So I don't think that got picked up by my microphone, but there was just a pretty loud rumble of thunder outside. So it's perfect for where we are in the game right now.
It's actually stormy today for me as well.
It's sunny evening without any clouds on the sky.
So,
Yes.
so
Yeah, same here.
okay, all right, Lafdul. You
Sunny in the
can.
tree.
Are you going to memorize Cure Disease and try to cast that on yourself?
Gonna try.
Okay.
I'm gonna take 2.
Give me a saving throw versus spell, please.
I'm taking 2 spells. Save go for spell.
Lafdul, I
Oh.
also give you some of the Mayo Baba tea.
Can he not?
You
I
haven't
was
seen him.
thinking about, could I-
He's still back at the flitter right now.
Before I cast the spell, is there nothing I can do with my healing and herbalism to improve my odds? Like a temporary stimulant?
Not really.
No. Alright, I guess I'll take the chance. 11. Oh, that worked.
All right.
You see?
You get your Cure Disease off successfully. That alleviates most of the symptoms of the cold. You're still a little sniffly, you're still a little sneezy, and you're still a little coughy.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't taste it any good. You don't taste good to drink. So it's not going to affect your future spell casting, but everyone will know that you got a cold from that.
Alright, I'm taking camping spells.
All right. So the rest of the party waking up in Mei Ling's comfortable treehouse from a soft bed. There's something about her house also that feels like it reduces the ambient humidity. It doesn't feel as humid or warm inside.
I would think the tree basically gathers it up.
That's entirely possible. It's hard to know for sure, but it's a lot more comfortable inside than outside. And those beds, wow, much better than the beds that you have on your ship.
She's
Better than Lafdul.
probably
So-
using a criminal organisation to rob stuff out the air.
So you guys wake up refreshed, feeling good, great night's sleep.
Solas will basically do his morning routines with a quite relaxed speed and enjoy everything as much possible.
Braxon will help Ockar to not look like Ockar when he gets up.
Basically put the helmet on.
Yeah.
I mean, Mei Ling has already seen Ockar without the helmet.
Yeah.
I thought he was. Oh no, he's not
Yeah,
wearing.
it was
I-
you
oh,
that
no,
were
it's all right.
disguised.
I thought he was going to be wearing the hat disguise. So Braxton's wearing the hat
No.
disguise, is he?
No.
No.
Lafdul is wearing-
Lafdul
since
was wearing
Lafdul is-
the hat of
Lafdul
disguise.
is, sorry.
Yeah, since Lafdul is looking like a human.
All right, fair enough. Braxton will make
That's
sure.
why I didn't want to sleep there.
Braxton will make sure he looks the same as he used to. Ah, I see.
So cat's grace and strength.
All right, who are you
and
casting them on?
level-
Who are you casting them on?
I think I'm gonna put strength on Solas. 'Cause he-
Yay!
and
Solas
cat's
thanks you.
All right, Solas, 1d6.
But when Lafdul comes in, she also wants to cast full speech. After that experience with Braxon and his weird signs, she decided that full speech would be better.
All right, and who are you casting Cat's Grace on?
Braxon.
All right.
Oh,
Braxon,
I have
give me 1d6.
okay.
Hey,
I would have
I'm normal
indicated
strength now.
I would have indicated that I would have stayed at the
Yeah,
fence.
you can actually carry your own share of the camping gear now, Solas.
Look at that, a 1. Lovely.
So that's 1 point of dexterity that you gain temporarily.
Woohoo. It's better than 0.
It is better than 0.
It is better than 0.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a zero-sum game.
Okay, so you guys get your spells memorized. The bathroom has bowls of fresh water to wash your face in, towels, stuff like that, and you then come down to the main floor when you're all ready to find Mei-Ling making some breakfast.
Have we got
Sit down
anything in
here,
our
though.
flitter that we can give to her as a gift?
That's up to you. I don't know.
Solas compliments the quality of her bed. That he hasn't slept in that comfortable bed in quite a long time.
Yes, they
Would
were
people
quite
be-
expensive to purchase.
Would Pete be okay if we gave her a keg of alcohol or whatever?
I mean, I don't think you brought that down on your flitter.
No, we got
Okay.
on the ship.
Oh,
All right.
Hold on just a second. I need to close my window. It's the rain's getting loud.
don't you think?
Probably means you can't hear us.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
We've been left in charge of the stream by ourselves.
We can plot for the demise of our DM.
We could
So
Just
do.
gives
how do
me
we-
time to change
so,
up my spells. So
How do we send him that poisoned ham?
All right, so it was loud because it's not just rain; it's small hail.
Oh right.
All right, I don't think you would have brought down a keg of alcohol on your
Yeah.
flitter.
Okay. Fair enough. I suppose it would bounce about a bit.
All right, so you've come down. Mei-Ling is preparing some breakfast for you, and she says, as you all get down, you know your friend went to spend the night on your ship. Is he going to be okay?
I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He is at times a bit peculiar.
Well, if
And if he is not okay, I can always treat him.
Braxon raises an eyebrow and says, "He did."
you would have known that he did. He said that he.
Yeah, I told
Yeah.
everyone I was.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if you want to pretend you didn't know, that's fine.
Braxon was already at sleep at that point.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think that Lafdul would have told you before anyone went to sleep.
Fair enough. Okay. Braxon says maybe one of us should go check on him.
I can go check on him.
At about that point, Lafdul, would you have been making your way to the?
No, I would have been praying for my spells. So I would have. Post midday, I might have left towards investigate. But if someone hadn't come before midday, then
Right. No,
I'd be
actually, I
at the
just
ship
realized you wouldn't be able to easily find your way back.
yeah, that's why I'm staying on
So,
the ship until midday, at the very least.
Mei-Ling says, "I'll check on him or take you to him after breakfast, if that is all right with you."
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, I think he is grown enough that he can wait after breakfast.
So she sets out a platter of plates of fruit, and there's some kind of cracker-like baked goods that are topped with a bit of honey.
Braxton's going to ask some polite questions about where things came from on the planet.
Yeah, she's happy to describe the location of the fruit and the grain that she used. She says that she gathers the grain, but also a lot of the grain that she uses gets imported too, for things like bread.
So, Solas asks about the creatures in on the planet. Like, does the planet have any winged serpents?
Oh, I'm not actually sure. There may be. The planet is certainly rife with reptilian life, but winged serpents, other than dragons and that sort, I can't think of anything offhand.
Well, then I just have to look. I'm looking for a few feathers of a winged serpent.
I think your best bet would be to consult with the gatherers. They do a more
Yes,
thorough search for unusual life on this planet than I have done myself.
yes. Unfortunately, at the time we met them last time, they didn't have any.
Ah, that is unfortunate. They do stop by here fairly regularly.
Yes, I would figure so, since this seems to be the most interesting planet for finding exotic animals and plants.
Now, would you like me to? Assuming that you guys have partaked in the breakfast.
Yeah, so
Braxton-
Solas is
Braxton
basically eating and talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
If anything in the food is local, Braxton's going to be asking about which bits of the planet stuff comes from.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is local. She says that she goes out and gathers it regularly. The fruit is good. Tastes kind of like a mix between a tangerine and a pear.
Braxton will turn to Solas and say, "Do you think you'd want to export this somewhere else?"
Well, I think some of these fruits might be very good additives for brews of alcohol.
Maybe, yeah. I'm just thinking of, what we'd set up as a trade run.
Well, sure, it would be possible, but gathering the amounts that you could sell with profit would be time take consuming.
Yeah, I know. But we want to, like, if we're going to bring cattle to Maelong, we're going to want to take something else off planet,
Mm-hmm.
even if that part doesn't make the same amount of profit. You want to fill up the cargo hold.
Mm-hmm.
We need to kind of figure this stuff out, don't we? When we're going to
Well, we still
fly
got
around to the various planets.
yeah. Well, we still got our cargo holds quite full.
Yeah, I know for now, but I mean, next time we come back to visit her, we're going to want to have the stuff she needs and have some places to sell the stuff she can provide.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you finish up breakfast, and she asks if you wish to be guided back to your ship.
Yes, I think we should go and check our companion. Would it be okay with you if I take plate and pint of this fine drink to our friend for a breakfast?
All she put out to drink was water.
Well, a pint of water then.
She says, you can absolutely fill up some water skins at the well if you would like before we leave.
Well, I feel my water skin. But would she be okay if I take a plate of the breakfast for Lafdul to eat?
Oh, yes.
Braxton's could have his mug with him. You can fill that up.
Well,
Maybe it stays at the same temperature.
yeah, it would keep it cooler for longer.
Of course, you'd have to carry the mug in hand.
Yeah, and not spill it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Braxton wouldn't carry it. He'd just give it Solas.
Everyone wants me to carry everything now that I'm strong as a normal person.
Braxton needs to get a lid for this mug.
I think it has a lid. I just don't think that it's a sealing lid.
Ah, right, I see. So like a beer stein.
Yeah. I'd have to go back and check the description to be sure, but anyway. So you fill up your water skins, and she leads you back to your flitter. You find Lafdul there.
Disguised.
Okay. And what have you done that morning? About, like, are you still, like, would you stay under the tarp? Would you get out and stretch? What would you be doing when they arrive? Because you probably would have gotten all your, I mean, unless you're making a big change to your spell list.
Yeah, I changed like half of my spells.
Okay, how long does that take?
Well, that's what I was saying about midday. Well, not till midday, but depends what time I get up.
Was anyone else making big changes to their spell lists?
Yeah, Finn was.
I only changed few spells.
Yeah,
I changed-
I'm changing my spell from command to analyze balance.
All right. The good
Yeah,
news
but
is
for like
that
10 minutes.
yeah, that's only 10 minutes for you. So
Afterwards, changed like a 4th level, 3rd level.
all right, I need to know how
few-
long. If it's more than an hour, I need to know how long it's
Yeah,
gonna be for
probably like 2
Lafdul
hours, I think.
and Finn.
I don't know, I'll count it out.
What
about-
is it, 10 minutes per spell level?
Yep. What about you, Leva?
Looking at it now, she does have one 5th level spell that she changed.
Okay. Well, it's only 50 minutes, so that's not too bad.
Mm-hmm. And I only changed about 50 minutes also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're making less than an hour's worth of changes to your spell list, I don't care that much. But anytime you're making big changes, I do need to know because that can impact how the day proceeds.
It would have taken me longer than an hour, but thanks to that amulet, it doesn't take that long.
So as soon as we're back together, or as soon as Lafdul has his
Finn
spells,
is actually
Let-
just
let-
shy
let-
of 3 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lafdul's at 1, 2, 3. Mine's over 3 hours. Mine's 230 minutes, so I don't know what that is an hour. Is 60.
You're close to 4.
Yeah, just shy of 4.
wow.
But if we eat breakfast and wait for Finn, we would most likely arrive around that
Was
time.
And I think Finn could probably have gotten up early.
Yeah, well, Lafdul would have not slept that well, so.
Leva, yeah, I did do level variation on those spells. Sorry, I didn't
Okay.
missed your earlier thing.
That's okay. So as soon as people are finished with their spells, Leva will cast full speech on the group.
Well,
Once we meet Lafdul.
that's when you get back to Lafdul?
Yes.
Okay. So it encompasses
Is that-
everyone?
Is this
Yeah.
before or after?
Exactly.
Is this before or after she leaves us?
What do you mean she leaves you?
She hasn't
guides us
left.
there.
She guided you there, but she hasn't left. Do you want to wait until she leaves before casting the spell?
Yes.
Okay. So
Once we get there, Solas basically brings the breakfast plate to Lafdul and says, "Here you go. I doubt you have had time to eat breakfast yet."
That's really nice of you.
And he immediately
Like,
He immediately forgets two spells.
Are you feeling quite well at the moment?
no, I
Uh,
survived.
I,
That's
I,
all that
I
matters.
will I will check my healing bag if I have some herbs that might ease the sniffles.
I mean, I tried that. I didn't say I could do anything.
Braxon was just about to give him a mug of.
This is mostly role playing purposes.
yeah,
So which is
unfortunately, the common cold is one of those things that there's just not a whole lot that anyone has been able to do to alleviate it.
I'm not speaking about
I understand.
alleviate, basically, so the sniffles aren't that
I-
bad.
Giving
I
you
understand.
Some, like, jinxing
I understand.
for like
Well,
energy.
The Mario Baba team will at least make him feel better.
Funny enough, I still actually have some of my own.
You do?
I've never actually used it now.
Well,
I've
you can use
traded it away.
use Braxon's mug that has water in it to
Yeah,
make it.
Braxon was just about to give Lafdul a mug of water, and then when he sneezed, he sort of stepped back a bit.
So we make the tea in it.
Well, I mean, you can't make the. I mean, it's the same as like.
You can't make tea in Braxon's mug.
You can boil it, but you can make it cold.
Well, it's got cold water in.
If anyone's got a metal
Yeah.
vial, I could heat it up with a dagger. Heat the
No,
vial.
you
up.
can't. You can't if you put
Any vial, not yours.
Oh yeah.
Any metal vial, which I probably do have.
You do?
Yeah, I have got 2 spare metal vials.
That'd be very interesting if someone put a hot dagger inside them.
Not
Braxon's
in
mug
it,
when it's got-
heating it up underneath like a Bunsen burner.
Yeah.
While they're
Take your
doing
tea
that,
and drink
Finn's going to
it.
cast weather prediction.
Ooh.
Okay. What is the details on that spell exactly?
By casting this spell, the priest can predict weather conditions at his location for a period of time equal to 1 day per level.
So
Caster becomes
you
aware
can,
of the prevailing conditions, trends, weather systems that may affect his present location. Temperature, wind speed, and direction, cloud cover, and precipitation can all be predicted with 95% accuracy for the next day, less 10% for each day after that.
So it gives
Okay,
you
so
a
it-
general prediction for the next 7 days.
Yes.
All right.
Figure it's weaker
and
than
and you can predict the weather even if you change the hemisphere you are on.
Well, it does say present location, so I'd probably have to cast again if we move too far away.
Okay. Let's see. It is expected to be a gale later today. A storm tomorrow. Another gale the following 2 days. Following 3 days, I'm sorry. Just strong winds on the 6th day, and then a gale again on the last day.
I'll let everyone know.
Oh, nice.
You'll
Ah,
get
well,
general
winds and
feeling
storms.
like it generally is for about a 6-hour period is when it gets to that height. Otherwise, it's ranging down to the previous category on that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's okay right now. The wind is blowing right now, but it's later today that it's going to get worse. And actually, I just realized that it basically always takes twice as long to get up and down from this planet. Because the lowest winds are strong winds, which is time takeoff and landing times 2. So it's actually 80 minutes to get up and down. So keep
I'll
that in
mention
mind.
that if we need to get back up to the ship, we'd better go very soon.
It's gonna be like midday by the time we get back down from the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Braxon's going to ask my
Mailing.
mailing. Braxon's going to ask mailing if there's any lakes or rivers nearby where people can land if they have bigger ships that don't land on the ground. If anyone wants to trade with her.
Not close by here. Those who wish to trade with me either stay for just a short period of time, or they bring a vessel that is more easily capable of landing in this field.
Braxon nods. And says, I wonder how easy it would be to make a small lake.
Oh, that would be rather difficult, I'm sure.
Yes, unless there's unless the groundwater is high enough. It would be very difficult.
I suppose so. Might be useful for storing water for watering the cows and stuff.
I mean, she has a well.
Oh, okay.
Also, standing water would basically work as a breeding ground for quite many nasty insects,
Bugs, mozzies, and all that.
Hmm.
mosquitoes and such.
More likely, in this area, the water would just drain out down to the aquifer, based on the type of ground cover there is here.
Yeah.
Once you guys are together again, and Lafdul has eaten his breakfast,
Could be sat on the flight back up or something.
are you guys planning to,
I assume we're getting travelling gear. We're
getting
not
your
going without
stuff,
tents.
the ship
And such.
unsecured and ready for takeoff?
Mhm.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can't steal a plate.
What?
Well, you said you could eat the food on the way up.
Yeah, I brought the
I
breakfast on
don't
a
know if you
plate.
brought.
She actually would
bring
have given you
food?
a large leaf to wrap it in.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine her giving away one of her nicest china pieces or whatever, porcelain.
Yeah, she wouldn't have let it
Shard pieces.
out of her house.
I was almost seeing Lafdul with a new holy symbol there.
The thought had crossed my mind, but you know.
So,
Holy symbol.
as you're getting ready to, get your ship ready to take off, she says, "Now, do you want to tell me why you're actually here?"
As for doing this, I'm gonna cast Analyze Balance.
Oh, wow, you're casting a spell in front of her.
Okay,
She's a spellcaster. She realizes what spells
fine.
No, it's up to you. I'm just saying, be aware of.
You want to know why we're really here?
I mean,
Oh.
so real fast. You can always try to hide yourself or something like that. You don't have to just like cast it
Yeah.
right standing up in
She's
the
looking at
area.
someone else.
But
and-
you
Yeah, I'm
do
gonna-
need to specify like what you're doing to try to hide your spell casting.
Is there anything that I can like stand behind, like a tree or something?
Not a tree, but you could get behind the flitter, pretend like you're beginning to get it unsecured
Yeah,
for
I'm
takeoff.
gonna do that. And while I do that, I'm gonna use Analyze Balance on her.
Okay, and that tells you the number of steps away from true neutrality.
Yeah,
Okay, and
and
she gets a saving throw.
let me double check the spell.
All right.
Give me a second. I
I
have to
think
look
so.
at stuff.
Most of those spells do.
I'm just gonna bring up the Dome of Magic and look at the sphere.
That's fine. I mean, while he's doing that,
None.
it takes. It's not
There's no
instantaneous.
saving throw.
So if someone
Yeah.
else, there's no saving throw.
Let's see. Casting time is 1 round. Duration is 5 rounds plus 1 round per level. Spell as a priest to sense how far character, creature, object, or area is from a condition of balance. In other words, to agree it's removed from neutral. It does indicate along which axis or axes of alignment the variation lies.
Okay.
So
And
you know that
I have a 5% chance per level to correctly determine the direction of variation along one randomly chosen axis.
Now, while he's getting ready to cast a spell and casting it, is there anyone else who is answering her question or saying anything?
We're here to gather supplies and information.
well, we came here to gather information about the planet. That's the reason why we visited you.
You were on a guidebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Ockar, you get no response from that spell.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, she's probably got magic that wards against it.
Mm-hmm.
So she looks at you guys who answered her, and she says, I know that's what you've said you're here for, but that's not why you're really here.
I
Braxton's
mean,
gonna smile.
that's why we came to visit you to gather information about the planet.
Why are you here on this planet? You
Why
may
the
you
sudden-
may choose to take some plants and animals with you when you leave, but that is not why you've actually come.
Hmm.
I'd appreciate if you would be truthful and honest.
We're hunting something, and that's all we can say.
And
We are here hunting for something.
and
But we
the
can't say what that is.
and the tracks led to parts of this planet.
Hunting what?
Evildoers.
She kind of chuckles at that and says, "Please, I can tell when you're lying,
It's not a
when
lie.
you're not giving me the full truth."
Tell me, have you seen any strange ships come by this planet recently other than our own?
I see many ships from many different places coming by here. You would need to be
Well,
more
if-
specific.
We came here tracking an eel ship.
That's tilting your hand a bit.
Ah, yes. Someone is finally coming to deal with them, I see.
Hmm.
Oh, so you know about them.
Oh, yes. I know much of what goes on in this world.
We had no way of knowing if you were affiliated or not. Even
Oh.
now, I'm still unsure.
Oh, I have no desire to work with such as those. They make other visitors to this planet nervous and cut down on the
Then-
number of people who'd be willing to trade with me here.
Then why do you take such pains to hide your alignment?
I'm a very private person.
Yeah, you remember what happened with Jewel when... And she ended up betraying us when she
I
said she was
see.
private.
Do you
Well, if you know about them and are of the opinion that they should be dealt with, then you might be able to help us more about telling us about where they hide.
Yes.
About.
I do not know
Yes.
exactly where they are located, but I do know that they have some local protection.
Oh,
Are they
In-
affiliated with the giants or any of the dragons?
I have heard that they have made a deal with a dragon whose territory they share.
That would be quite good protection.
Probably a black dragon.
Do you know which territory it is?
Not precisely.
Would those giants you mentioned that work as guides be able to help us locating them more accurately?
They might be, but you should be aware that they may have their own issues with the local dragons. It may prove difficult depending on which route you choose to take.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say
Well-
that they wouldn't act as a guide, but you may just want to examine your options before deciding what you do.
True.
What do you know of anything about a? You're familiar with the sphere, most of the planetoids or bodies here.
Somewhat familiar, yes.
I
I've been
can't
here on
remember
Kislev. I've been here on Kislev for many years, but I did explore many of the other planets to a
What
degree.
was the one? What was the? Did it say on our guide which planet had the mad wizard, or like? I'm just wondering if she knows anything about the wizard that likes his isolation.
It was one of the
That was-
moons of Zivlin.
Yeah.
I was wondering if she knew of him or her.
I'm aware of him, but I have not had any dealings with him.
We're potentially going to talk to him at some point. Whether or not that's a bad idea, we're trying to find out.
Yes. The reasons for tracking him down are more of a personal stake. The captain is a relative of mine.
Well,
You would like to keep that information off common knowledge.
Yes. But you were a gracious host to us, and I figure if you're already questioning us about this, it might be better to just tell you what's up.
I do appreciate your new candor, and I am very happy to see pirates eliminated. They do so foul up trade, which makes it so much more difficult to get new sources of livestock here and visitors who bring with them entertaining information like you have. You probably would want to at least speak with King Sully Gatherer clan. I have not met him personally myself, but I do know of him. He might be able to give you some more information.
Do you know where we could go to meet with him?
She did give you the location of his
Okay.
village yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, would you have told her the weather forecast, weatherman?
Yeah, I'd share that with her.
I mean, she was here when you cast it, so.
Yeah.
She does say that you may have some luck trying to negotiate with the dragon that has offered them protection. They can be receptive to such things, but I will leave that up to you. I do know it is a powerful dragon.
You don't know what color it is, though.
Not precisely, no.
What might we have that a dragon might be interested in?
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Well, that I will leave up to you.
It's lucky you're able to confirm their presence here for us. I was almost starting to think that this has been a wild goose chase.
Well, I do appreciate your candor. I would be happy to help you out with other information if you have any other questions.
Do you know anything else about those pirates except that they come where they are hiding, or which territory they are hiding, and that they come and go with eelship?
Not precisely. I suspect that they're in the mountains. But which mountains, I couldn't tell you.
Interesting.
Also, you mentioned about other options besides the giants that would act as guides. So, what did you mean?
Oh, I just meant that if you wish to negotiate with the dragon, it may be difficult with the giants by your side. The giants and the dragons on this world do not have a cordial relationship at all. If you wish to slay the dragon, then they might serve you well.
Well, it wouldn't be the first dragon we've slayed.
Oh?
Yeah, well...
Well, We have
You
a
shouldn't
few
be-
tales of fighting dragons, especially this one on Green Shield we fought, a green dragon.
It wasn't particularly AuldDragon, that one.
Yes, but we were able to defeat it with a combination of explosives and our.
Because we had a dragon on our side that we didn't know about,
That wasn't on Green Shield.
wasn't it?
You fought a
Was
you
it
fought a
Crown
dragon
Base?
turtle on Green Shield. No, you fought
Yeah.
a green dragon on.
Was it a crown base?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the dragon turtle on Green Shield that we fought with using a clever plan and some enemy mercenaries, and then the one on the planet where we found the elven ship that we defeated using our ship and explosives and my magic longsword.
Explosives?
Remember, Braxon threw a grenade in its mouth.
Oh, I don't remember that bit for some reason.
Braxon's looking a bit sheepish.
Oh, that is interesting. I wish you had told me that tale last night.
Well,
Wow. We might
we
get
might-
another opportunity to visit you and tell you more tales once we're free of our obligations, shall we say.
Yes.
And we might be able to trade with you. If you put in a request, we'll see what we can do. You said you were after cattle? It's a bit hard to transport cattle.
I'm after any sort of livestock. Almost any sort of livestock, not chickens
What's wrong with
or other
chickens?
fowl. Hmm. Not to my taste.
Hmm. I have a sword that's called the Cock's Crow. It's used to slay basilisks.
Hmm. There are some basilisks on this world, so you might.
Oh, it's good to know.
That
Find
is
some use to
very. That's very
You-
useful to know.
You practiced. You said, did I mishear? You were also a practiced magician, user of magic.
I have some small skill. I am trained as a Wu-Gen.
What's a
Is
Wu
that
Jian?
the?
Sun Fayun would kind of quietly tell you that is one of the practitioners of the mystic arts in my lands.
Is that the more arcane or is that the more
Yeah,
divine?
that's a wizard.
You
Oh,
can
but-
do anything with
But
stone.
Wu-Gen
petrification.
are quite
Oh.
spiritual in and of themselves, so
Oh.
do keep that in mind.
I'm just going to straight up say you can't do anything about petrification, can you?
No, I cannot.
Shame.
yes, we ran
Oh.
into some nasty petrifying beasts on another planet.
Yeah. I don't think any of us realised what it was.
But yes, we will look into talking with the giants. That seems like our best course of action next, and then if we can figure out where the pirates are located, we'll try to eliminate them with our allies.
Shall we bring greetings from you, or is this say we don't mention you?
Oh, you can mention them or mention myself or not if you wish. I just have not personally spoken with Sully Gatherer clan.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your information. Unless anyone else have something to ask about.
No, your hospitality was quite lovely.
Yes, thank you.
Brax is going to bow.
And she gives you all a bit of a bow. I wish you luck on your venture.
Thank you, and perhaps next time we meet, there is no need for any secrecy on either side.
Braxton
Indeed,
says,
indeed.
Braxton says, I wish you luck finding a type of livestock that does well on this planet.
Yes,
Maybe
thank you.
next-
I appreciate that as well.
Maybe next time we meet, I can show you some of the plans I had for Green Shield, and you can give me some tips, since you have done so well here.
Oh, but I have not created a fortress. I try to live, for the most part, in harmony with the land.
True, but you can give me some tips on how to best survive in a difficult environment.
I'd be happy to share some thoughts on that.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Don't poke the wildlife. Don't drink the water. Don't sleep out in the open like Lafdul.
Don't get eaten by the monsters.
The 101 of surviving on a hostile planet.
Okay. Anyone have any further questions for Mei Ling?
I could give her some of my tea actually if she wants it. Some unusual tea. I'd give her enough for like a couple of uses.
No, she
that's
wouldn't
not
be
really a
interested. She wouldn't be interested.
Braxton's going to ask if she's got any maps of these mountains.
No, they change frequently from the weather.
They do. The mountains change.
Well, the specifics.
Oh, right. You mean the plants on the mountains?
The
change.
plants, the landmarks, all of that sort of thing.
Fascinating.
Would you mind repeating what you said about the tea?
She's not interested in the tea.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to show her thanks for her hospitality in another way, she might not be. She might be happy to not turn that down.
Well, we don't seem to have a keg of beer.
No.
We could drop something off if she's willing to wait for like a couple of hours. We'll come back in a couple of hours. We'll leave something in the field for her.
It's going to be a gale in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I think we promise to come visit and regale more stories with her once we've dealt with the pirates. If nothing else, we come and regale the tale of the battle with the pirates.
I mean, you're lucky that the 2 8s that I rolled for weather didn't happen after gales, because otherwise those would have been monsoons or tornadoes. So.
Well, that would have been fine.
Well,
A lovely weather stasis that lasts like all of like 1 hour at 4th level.
well, Solas promises to her that once we've been successful in dealing with the pirates, we will return and tell you more stories about our adventures.
I would appreciate that.
And also, of course, the news that we've managed to deal with those pirates.
Okay. Anyone have anything further that they want to ask her or do any other interaction with her?
Not at the
No,
moment.
I'm good.
Okay.
Once we return, then I might have more about.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
Lara certainly would want to know whether she really does not know anything about. I've forgotten already.
What do you just say?
The Talengran Empire?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, she's...
No.
Well, I mean, unless she's lying, she said that she doesn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
She says she thinks... Braxton's going to say, you said you think they might be allied with a dragon. Do you know how many dragons there might be in that area? Would it be one for controlling the whole mountain range?
Unless they're mated pair.
You might be able to find another younger dragon looking to claim the territory.
Oh. Maybe we should ally ourselves with another dragon and a new and upcoming upstart. I mean, it's an ally.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how I feel about. I mean, what are the typical
All
dragons
it's
around
interested
here?
in is killing the other dragon.
Are the other dragons here like?
Blacks
Black
and
and green.
greens.
Are they black? Okay, so they're typically chromatic, which means they're typically evil.
Mostly, yeah.
No, I'm more
Predisposition
thinking.
towards it.
I'm more thinking we don't want to be going and picking a fight with a dragon that's got nothing to do with anything.
And I'm not sure how I feel about going to have a conversation with an evil creature like that.
Well, we made a bargain with the other dragon turtle to cheat them into telling the pirates that they were holding back out on a dragon. I can't remember what our ploy was. They were holding treasure, or they were planning betraying the Dragon Tower. What was it? Anyone remember? I can't. It's so long ago.
You're talking about the dragon turtle?
Yeah. I can't remember what the ploy Higamus used against it was. We were turning its own greed against it or something. I can't remember.
I mean, I remember, but I'm the dungeon master, and I'm not sharing stuff that you guys don't have forgotten.
Did she mention the color of the dragon the pirates are allied with?
She did not.
Okay. Perhaps the giants might know about it.
They might.
But I think it's best for us to start our journey so we can have this problem dealt with sooner than later.
Yeah. We should get going before we start giving her our bank account details.
What's the bank account?
I'm joking.
All right, so you
just
get
joking.
into your ship and take off. Make your way back up to your battle dolphin.
Mhm.
Yeah. Braxon will thank her for her help before we go.
Yeah, obviously we'll do ID.
And I once again wish you luck. All right. So it will take over an hour to get back up to your ship. 80 minutes.
Once we are on our ship, I will suggest that we send a message to the Octave Arcane and the Knights about this, and that we've confirmed that there should be base, the pirates' base should be on Chislev, and also mention about that they are allied with the dragon.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
We'll never be able to cast. We'll never be able to cast a spell in the flitter.
Oh, whether or not. Well, yeah, it's relatively stationary.
Or she
Well-
can cast it on when we get back to our ship.
Yeah, probably better on the ship. If she has the spell, even.
Yeah, the
Yes.
trip
Yeah.
up through the atmosphere is like you guys all have to basically strap yourselves in because you're flying up through strong winds that are building
Yeah,
up
you can all
as
share
you go.
Lafdul's code.
Well,
Social distancing, folks.
the thing is
D&D.
that
You're not
we
contagious
can,
anymore.
Oh,
You cure disease. You just have the symptoms. Sorry, what was that, Solas?
Yeah, about that, since I noticed message about wondering if we should recon first or call our allies in our chat, that I think we can do both, since it will take few days for our allies to come here.
Well, the reason why Leva at least thinks that we should do recon first is we still have nothing in our hands. What do we want them to do? They come here and they twiddle their thumbs.
Well,
Yeah,
we would tell them that we're close, that we know that the pirates' base is on this planet,
Hang
and
on.
that
do
they
we know
start.
that?
Yes, we did. Well, we know that they have. We're pretty sure that they have a base on this planet. They have a deal with a dragon here. The
Yeah,
heel
but
ship came here.
Pretty sure it's not. We know. Pretty sure means we I think that they probably do, but we don't know.
I don't think that you'd be able to like. I mean, what would make you sure? Seeing the base?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
but
am.
then if all of what you've heard is true, then you're in the territory of a dragon who might bite you in two, and you'd be close to where their base is, which means that they might find you. And then
I'm really.
what's the point of having allies?
Yeah.
Um.
I'm
Right.
relatively certain that the base is here, and we
Yeah.
should send a message to them to come to here to meet up with us. It's gonna take them like at least a day or two to get here, so we can still keep investigating and figure out if that really is the case while they're on their way here.
Right.
Yeah.
So what type of ships did they have again?
Can
They-
Eel, Eel and Octopus ship.
No,
Octopus.
He's talking about the Octane Arcade
Talking about
and
Star
the.
Knights.
Oh,
yeah.
those, yeah.
The
Star-
Star Knights had a Dragonfly, and the Octane Arcade has a Hammerhead.
Right. So, Dragonfly can land on the ground. Hammer ship has to land in water.
Yeah.
So we've
Well,
got 2 ships that can't land in the same sort of terrain. Our ship only lands in the water. We'd be good working together as a fight in space. But we might not be able to get all the ships to land.
The eel
yeah,
ship would
but
need water
they
to land in.
They can always come down enough to hover just above the ground and lower people
That's
down.
true.
Or also there were some lakes on the southern hemisphere.
That's
Yeah.
true. If we're up against a dragon, though, we might want to warn our
Well,
allies.
if the dragon comes out, the ships can help us fight the dragon using their artillery.
That's true. But let's think about what message.
Remember when we were against one dragon? It took our ship and then us working with the ballistas and everything. We were able to take down a single dragon.
Yeah.
I'm also a little worried about doing recon. I did not know there were basilisks, and we don't really need more people turning to stone.
I could fight a basilisk. I have the gaze protection ability from my sword.
Yeah, but that's if it targets you.
He could always
Yeah.
just run straight ahead and make sure that it
Draw
targets
its
him.
attention.
Yeah, and draw its attention. And
you guys-
and
I mean,
again,
if
let me just make a note that I have random encounter charts. So it's entirely possible that I will never roll a basilisk.
If we run into a basilisk, I will charge in and keep its attention while you guys pelt it with arrows.
Basilisks tend to be
Leva has
poisonous as
gaze
well, don't they?
reflection. Sorry.
If I get poisoned, I'm hoping that
Yeah.
you have neutralized poison.
I do.
Leva has gaze reflection.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a prepared spell, though.
Also,
Not today, but tomorrow might be.
also first part of the recon would be going to the giant village
Yeah.
and
My
speaking
thought-
with
Yeah.
them.
Can I?
They would know even more about the basilisks and creatures there.
So here's my plan. First, we have Levison descending to our two allies to tell them where we are, and that we believe that the pirate base is here, and we want them to come this way so we can attack it together. And while they're on their way here, we go and meet with the giants to get even more information.
I mean, it's kind of like we need to be absolutely certain we know where it is, rather than a hunch or a good educated
Well,
guess.
my
We need
thought-
to know.
My thought is, it's going to take them at least a day or two to get here. In that time, we do more investigating and we figure out where it is.
Yeah, I agree with Ockar.
It is, but
Yeah.
it's what happens when it turns out wrong.
You mean that
Well-
there isn't any pirate base here, or
Oh, I'm not saying. I mean, the odds are it probably is here. I'm just saying, just be
Look,
prepared
the
for
thing
an
is,
answer.
it's a
it's
gamble I am willing to make.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
And I have a feeling it is here, and I have a feeling that we can find it in those 2 days.
all the signs we have point to this place and at the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes sense considering if they got a dragon on their side or something. So.
Our device led us here,
And our device
and
points on the southern hemisphere.
and Mei Ling says they're here.
Yeah.
And
so
he
we've got-
directed us to where the giant village is.
We've got 2 pieces of information that says they're on this planet. So they might not be here now. It might just be the eel ship here now. The actual pirates might be somewhere else. But if they're here, they're going to come back here at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if their base
if
is
they're
here,
here-
if their base is here, then the eel ship will be back here if they're not here right now. I mean the octopus ship. So
And,
That's
and if
also
they are here, they're going to take off at some point. So we've
Also, that was good point about that. If they are not here, they will return at some point.
Which means we can set up an ambush.
Last time we tried to attack
Also about the thing is that if when we are doing our recon there, our battle dolphin is on its own. But if our allies appear, the recon is way more safer since there's more ships to fight against the possible returning pirate ships.
Right.
So
Or pirate ships that try to make a run for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you're talking about a recon or whatever, the recon can possibly confirm if either or both the ships have landed.
Well, when I'm talking about recon, I'm meaning trying to figure out the exact territory the base is. Since that's not we don't know the exact location. We know it's on the south and on the territory of one of the more powerful dragons. So it's going to take time to figure it out, but during that time, our allies can arrive here and help us then.
Yeah.
Braxon,
Yeah.
can an eel ship land on land?
I'll have to try and remember. He says, "Look."
No, it's a watercraft. So, I mean, anything can land on land if you have like struts and stuff like that, and it's essentially a dry dock situation. But no, it's designed for landing in water.
Yeah.
So it might be some near some mountains that have lakes near it.
Is it possible to use like shape wood to make an impromptu like
a dry dock?
Not necessarily a dry dock, something to hold the ship.
No, not shape wood. Not shape wood. I mean, yes, you could use shape wood many times. But basically, you would need to construct something. You could use shape wood to help you construct something, but you need to construct something to hold a ship.
Multiple days, whatever.
If they have a base and they've had that base for some time, I think they might have some kind of a dry dock facility there for repairs.
Are you saying that we use their facilities?
No, but I mean that they most likely have some kind of facilities to do repairs, since you can't really go onto normal ports with pirate ship and say that we got damaged when we attacked a merchant ship. Do some repairs for us.
You can go to a pirate port, though.
Yeah.
Possibly, but not all pirate ports have dry docks either.
Well, we haven't been to the pirate port on Zivlin. That may well have ship repair facilities.
May have, but they may also want to have some kind of repair facilities on their base.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm actually getting at here is there's probably water nearby their base somewhere.
There must be enough water for them to drink. And if there is a place where you can land in water and there's ground nearby, there might be enough space for them to land both ships. The octopus is fairly large, so they would have had to. Sorry?
Can the eel ship land inside the octopus onto it? Could they have modified it?
You mean like our ship? Yeah. You'd have to build something equivalent to a dry dock on top of it. In wild space, you wouldn't need to do that. You just pull the two ships alongside each other. Now, our ship's got a special dry dock built into it for the second ship to dock into. So you could build something like that, but it would use up space where they would normally put their weapons. So I don't think they would have done anything like that. They could have built something similar to a dry dock in the ground or in the land. Because if someone was going to try and repair a ship, they might do that because they need to beach the ship.
Mm-hmm.
They might have done something like that. But if there is a body of water in that area, and there's also some ground in that area that's flat that they've cleared, that could possibly give them enough space to land both ships. And if they've got a friendly dragon, it could just burn down some trees for them near a lake.
Well, not if it's not fire-breathing dragon.
Or, well, it could tear up the trees and throw them out the way. or it could carefully take the trees down so they could be used for planks. It could do anything like that.
But
We should investigate the local flora to see if there's any particular type of damage that dragon would, either a green or a black dragon would normally do to the area, like acid or corrosion, or like the gas, like plants withering and dying from the noxious gas.
I would say if we can get in touch with any friendly giants in the southern area.
well, we know the village and the leader of the village.
Should we just fly up? Because we're down here for quite a while.
Well, I'm
we
assuming
are
we are
on the
flying. I'm assuming we're in the process of flying.
Hold on. You're either in the process of flying back to your ship or you're back at your ship. Either way, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because you're now discussing things. So.
Yeah.
To finish my sentence, I was going to say if we can find some friendly giants in the area, they will probably have seen ships taking off and landing, and they will be able to help us localize the area where the ships are. Not exactly, but they can narrow things down a lot.
Well, I was thinking for a first bit of narrowing down, why don't we have a look from orbit and see if we can spot any larger lakes?
The lake wouldn't need to be that large, but we can look for larger lakes. It was supposed to be in the mountains, so we can concentrate on the mountain ranges. Cloud might see something that I can't.
But I think we still should send the message to our allies, because it will take time for them to come here.
Yes, but if we're going to have a look at the planet, we might want to wait a little bit.
Well, we can do those few recon trips, like going to visit those giants while we wait. Then we would have more ready when they come here.
Leva, what do you think? You're the one that casts the spell. Would you rather wait?
I said what I think. I said it before. I agree with you.
You agree on waiting to send the spell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In any case, we couldn't send both off because she only memorized one of them today.
Well, even calling just one of them here would be helpful. And also, less time we are alone here, less risk it is that we have to fight them pirates on ourselves.
You know what happens. You do know what happens to people who cry wolf too many times. So.
But we haven't cried wolf many times, and we do know that they have the base here.
So just to in case this helps, the Octave Arcane are still on reorcs so far as you know, and going by the Star Knights, they would be visiting Kryn about now. Like you got kind of their itinerary.
Both trips would take 3 to 4 days.
It'd take at least an extra day to get here from reorcs.
You know, here's the thought.
I agree with. Well, Leva agrees with Braxon. What he said.
Here's the thought that Leva might be able to get an answer on. We know that the Octave Arcane were repairing their ship. So we don't know how far they are towards finishing their repairs.
They were pretty close.
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm asking is if they still had a week's repairs to do and we had an option of going down to the giant with them knowing that they need to come here, and with the Star Knights knowing that it was going to take a week for the Octave Arcane to be ready to come here, we could do some prep work without going all the way in, if that makes sense.
Does it make sense? No one's responded.
I mean,
no,
yeah,
I think
so.
I mean, Leva can only call one of them today anyway, but still Solas is of the opinion that sooner we call them the better, since we know their base is located here. It's only a matter of time until we locate the exact place the base is.
Yeah, I'm in the same opinion.
And since we know that their base is here, we also risk every day we risk the chance of encountering their ships alone.
I would,
and we won't be able to win against 2 ships.
I would say that as we spoke to the Star Knights last time, if we've only got one spell, we probably want to talk to the Octave Arcane this time.
I think last time we messaged to them both.
No, we asked the Star Knights to let the others know. And if the Star Knights are no longer there, they wouldn't be able to let them know. What we want to know is, are the Octave Arcane ready to move? Would Braxon be able to remember roughly how much damage they had to fix to see if he could work out that they'd definitely be ready or definitely not be ready?
Give me a carpentry check.
I mean, there is always going to be one kind of check.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I might have just told you.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon.
Yeah, you're not sure exactly, but you would say worst case scenario, they're getting here with 55 out of 60 hull points. Worst case scenario.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like
Fair enough.
They were not so damaged that they would be coming here with 35 hull points.
Yeah, but they get much faster repairs on Reox, don't they?
Right, right.
What is it? Is it one?
It's usually one per day. It's one per day.
1 whole point per day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should ask how much damage they've got left. Well, they wouldn't be able to say anything. It's like metagaming, isn't it?
You could ask how long until you're fully repaired.
Days.
Yeah.
ETA days remaining.
I'm thinking we should probably ask them that, Lever. Tell them what's happening, but ask them that, because if it's like wait 3 days and we've got our ship fully repaired, it will be worth not actually starting an attack until they're fully repaired.
No one is planning to start the attack immediately when they come here.
I know.
Five hull points would also not make that much of a difference. I mean, it could make a difference, but it's probably not going to make much difference. If it makes a difference, like, if that actually makes a difference, then you are probably in a lot of trouble anyway, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a ship that's been destroying ships, and we're talking about a dragon that's friendly with them.
Yeah, but the dragon would not participate in a fight if we fought the ships on space. Also, if we are going to ask about how long the repairs are taking, we should also still add the information that we've located their base, or we know that their base is in Chislev, and that they have a deal with the dragon.
Yeah.
Finn, what do you think? Oops.
It's a dragon! Quickly! Zooming
very
past.
young
Did you hear that wind barrier?
That was really bad timing. Finn, what do you think?
I'm for sending them first message now.
First message meaning?
Get a message to the Octave Arcane. Let them know that we've received intel that we pretty much know where the base is now.
Mm-hmm.
And mention about the dragon.
Can you please finish?
And just let them know the situation and that we will very likely need their help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've got to fit that into 25 words. So it's going to be...
Possible base found, might need help.
Good odds base here. Can you assist?
Well, what we want to do is ask them how long before their ship's repaired.
Well, that could be at the end. How
Because
long?
they've already agreed to assist us.
Yeah, but
They've got 25 words to answer back, which is enough for them to answer any questions, ask any questions. So I think we need to.
The
nail this
problem
down.
is that they can't really ask a question of you because they will not be getting another sending until tomorrow, at the earliest.
No, they can answer when they get the sending.
Right.
Wait,
But
don't
they can't ask you for more information. So you want to give them as much information as possible in your message and get information from them, but not anticipate a question from them because you cannot respond to a question from them.
No, but if
But
they need
can't
more,
the Octane Arcave cast the sending spell? I thought they said they had a wizard that could do that.
They might not have it memorized though.
Yeah, we won't know that until we actually do the first sending.
Yeah, we won't. Even if they have wizard that can cast the sending, they can't use it if it's not memorized. So
what I meant was when they answer Lever, can they not ask us something?
they can ask, but we can't answer.
I'm asking Ord.
I just said they can't. You cannot answer a question that they ask you until tomorrow.
Yeah.
They can
that's
ask
fine.
a question, yes, but you can't
Right,
answer
got
them.
ya.
So you want to set it up in such a way that
Yes.
they're not asking a question.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, if they need to know anything that we haven't said to them, we will know that they need more information.
Huh?
I'm saying that if we haven't given them enough information and they want to ask us something, we will know that we need to cast a sending the next day in order to provide them with the
they
information.
will mention about it then.
Yeah, but
That's-
otherwise they won't.
No, that's fine.
We don't have to worry about it beforehand.
No. I just wanted to clarify that from Ord because other people were asking different things. So I get that now. It sounds like someone's banging a cupboard door.
It's just normal noises on the ship.
Okay, so
So now,
right.
just as a side note, you don't need to be like super perfect in your question. Make
Yeah.
sure that if it feels like it's less than 25 words, I'm not too picky.
Yeah. So who's up for sending a message now?
There's a message in the chat. Possible message.
I think we might want to warn them about the dragon.
Yeah. I think. Well, we already asked them if they would help us, and they said yes.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, if you, I would skip that might need help because then they're gonna be like, well, do you need help? You know, and
Then we should just say that. Then we should just ask them for help.
right. So either
Yeah.
you ask for help or you don't send them a message at all.
Yeah, we should ask for help because them and a dragon is too big for just us alone. I feel like we're gonna need the backup here.
Yeah.
All right, Lafdul has something.
Oh, I've got something as well. Oh no, I didn't mention the dragon.
I'll...
The fun of the party figuring out how many Because again, remember, I said I'm not too concerned about exact numbers of words. If it feels right, it feels right. That's okay.
I'm typing out my own message using a bit of Braxton's.
Wow, let's hodgepodge this together.
Everyone with their own numbers.
So we back on the ship in the meanwhile, so to speak, or is there any harm?
Yeah,
in
you've
saying
gotten
that we
you've
are?
gotten back onto.
Mine's only 19. My second thing.
You've gotten
We'll
back
spike
onto your vessel, so that's fine.
That's my interpretation.
So we could add pirate base to that.
We're definitely planning on
No,
camping down there.
We don't want to say come as soon as you can. We want to ask them how their ship repairs are doing, or how many days till their ship's finished, because they know we want them.
Oh, well,
If you say come as soon as you can, then they're going to be ready in 4 days. They will finish repairing the ship, and then come. Whereas if we actually ask them the question in the message, how many days, they will say ship ready now, or they will say 2 days, or 4 days,
X days.
7 days.
Well, I like your message, Braxon.
Thank you.
So once you guys decide on the message, let me know. I'm not looking at these in depth, so I'm waiting for you. That's up to you guys to figure out which one. What you
How
wanna send?
about one I did put?
How?
Well, it's possible. It's not for certain.
Ockar and Solas, your messages don't ask them how to tell us how many days till they're ready.
well, if they're, are you ready to help? That seems like it would work just well enough.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No,
Yes,
it doesn't.
does.
Because you get a yes or a no.
It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be. It doesn't have to be a yes or no answer. They get 25 words just like we do.
No.
So
no.
hold on.
answer literally.
If you ask, "Are you ready to help?" I think it's reasonable to assume that if they say no, they will explain why not.
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable. I think that's a reasonable
Yeah.
assumption.
Since there's 25 words for them to use.
Yeah.
It won't just be a single no. It'll be no and why.
Right.
Yeah. If they are not ready, they will just answer no, need more repairs.
Yeah. So I
I
think
still bet-
Solas is fine.
I prefer Braxton's message because it doesn't. It states clearly that the base is believed to be in a place we don't know for certain yet, and it asks for how many days until the ship is ready, which I think is a good question.
Well, we can just modify Solas as saying pirate base believed to be on the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, and I'm mentioning that we are doing the recon to find the exact location. We are pretty certain that the pirate base is on here based on every evidence that we found.
Yeah.
How heavy is that tent of Elven?
So
Not very
Leva
at
is
all.
casting the spell, and she is sending Braxton's message instead, so we don't spend the next 10 minutes complaining about each other's wording. How
She's
about
a
that?
spellcaster. She's a
So
spellcaster.
she just casted the spell, and she's sending that
Whatever,
message.
do what you want. I don't care. You don't listen to us anyway.
She's listened to us, and she's made a
And she
decision.
disregards us. Whatever, fine. Go ahead.
She didn't.
Alright, so the spell gets cast, so let's just move on from this.
Yeah.
Okay. The response you get is 2 more days for full repairs. Can be ready now. Shall we come?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just said come as soon as you can, they'd have come with 2 whole points.
Missing, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that really matter?
They don't know.
Most
so-
likely not.
In ship combat, that doesn't really matter.
It does. It
No,
does.
it doesn't.
It's 2 whole points extra if they get attacked with a lot of
That's 20
damage.
points of damage from
Yeah.
an AoE spell worth of.
Yeah. It's like if you
Or-
weren't fully healed, we'd get you healed before we went into the fight.
Yeah, but with a ship, if they're getting down to if a hammer ship is taking 58 points of hull damage
Yeah.
in the course of a fight, that ship is barely together. Number one, they've had 2 critical hit rolls just for losing hull points, not even for
Yeah.
any critical hits. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cost to repair, you might as well buy a new ship at that point.
I just think we should just have them already on their way. I don't think.
Well, don't forget, we don't know exactly where the base is yet. So we were talking about doing a recon.
I mean, if
Yeah,
it takes
but-
2 more days and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. 2
But
more
it-
days.
But it's
2 more
also
days.
it's also 2 more days that we risk about getting attacked by the pirates on ourselves.
It's gonna take them 2 days to get repaired, and then 2 days to get here. That would mean 4 days in
Yeah.
total.
it'll
There's
take
a
more
chance-
than 2 days for them to get here.
Yeah,
it will
it'll
be-
take them
it will
more
be
than
about
4
a week.
days.
Yeah,
It
we
will be
can.
about a week.
That's
Yeah,
fine. That's fine. We got to get in
no,
touch.
it's not fine because
Hang on. We've got to get in touch with the Star Knights as well, who are on Kryn, which we can't do because we've only got 1 spell.
we only
Yeah.
have 1 sending.
Yes.
For today.
So
Yeah.
Lever can learn 2 tomorrow, and we can if we've got any way to do any retcon on the planet or go visit these giants, the friendly giants, we could try and do that while the other ships are coming, or we're just going to come and have the 3 ships in orbit and try and catch them when they take off or land. But it's a big sphere. We're not going to find it easy to get 3 ships to come together in one place at a moment's notice.
Yeah,
have a
but
suggestion to make as
every day
well.
matters.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to suggest that when we're off the ship, at least,
Mhm.
have the helmsman keep it in orbit near the North Pole,
That's a good idea.
since we know that this pirate base is likely in the southern hemisphere. That'll keep them out of the direct line for if the ships take off or come into land.
Yes.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, it's on a blind spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it
Might
sounds
be
like
good to have everyone meet us there too.
Yeah, that's a good landmark for people to meet us.
Out of interest, does that increase time for us to go with fleet around the planet and back on the southern hemisphere by much?
it's not going to take any extra time to leave and get down there. It'll take some extra time to get back. Once you get up into orbit and go up to the North Pole, yeah, it'll be a little bit of extra time, but not a whole lot of extra time.
Okay.
You're not looking at like hours and hours and hours of time.
Before we fly up to the North Pole, would Glau be able to help us look for likely locations where this mountain region might be?
Do you have your spyglass?
Yeah, that'd be back on the ship.
Well, we are on the ship.
Yeah, I know.
So Solas will use the spyglass and look for most clear landmarks on the south, trying to locate the giant village and the potential locations for the pirate base.
And we'll have a look too.
Should we check our tracking device to see if it's still pointing in the same area while we're on the ship?
Well, you
That's a
can
good
do that
idea.
while we are looking for the...
Or Lafdul will do that then.
Yeah, it's still pointing to the same general area.
Can we...
Can Solas make a chart? A
Can-
rough
can
sketch
we-
of
Yeah, could we use that to try and narrow down the area on the
So
southern
when we're
hemisphere?
on ground, we got no idea really. It's
What-
like mountains to like the east, river to the north.
You can
something like
you can
that.
pinpoint the mountain range. So you're not going to go to the wrong mountain range. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I think to pinpoint it really, really close, we'd have to almost land our ship.
Yeah.
Which doesn't land.
Well, if we can point out the right mountain range, we already reduce the number of areas. It can be quite a lot,
Yeah.
even if it's big mountain range. But can we locate the giant village?
You know where that is. Mei Ling told you where that is, so you can get to that. Let me check to see what the weather is down there at the moment. All right. The mountains are covered in a storm right now.
And the giant village?
The giant village is... it's cloudy, but there are breaks in the clouds. So you can definitely... you've spotted that location. You can get down there if you want.
And the weather is not that bad to get down there.
Oh, it's still strong winds. It's always strong winds at best.
Yeah.
But it's not raining.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to get down to where those mountains are without being smack on top of the territory of the dragon?
I think most of the planet is territory of one dragon or another.
Yeah, I know, but like, if we're going to come down in the area, we don't want to come down right on top of that area, do we?
I mean you don't know anything about the giant village, but wherever the pirate base is, you were kind of led to believe is within the territory of a particular dragon that they've made a deal with.
Yeah. Was Mei Ling able to convey to us where the giant village will be?
Yes.
Yeah.
We know where it is.
Right. How far away is that from the mountains?
It would be a hike. It would be a hike. You could walk there though.
But what I mean is, what I'm trying to get at is we could come down with the flitter from an angle where we're not so easily seen from the mountains.
But coming down on an angle risks us being air in another dragon's territory for longer.
True.
And there's multiple dragons that have territories on this planet, not just the one.
True.
We were basically warned on the guide that don't dally on the air too long.
I wasn't so much thinking of coming down half the planet away and then flying horizontally. I was just thinking we don't fly down over the mountains. We fly down. Well, I suppose it's just risky either way, isn't it?
Yeah, and keep in mind that this is a stormy, rainy world covering clouds, so...
Also, flitter is...
the longer you're in the air, the more likely you are to not just be attacked by a resident dragon, but caught in a storm.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, there's constantly storms on some parts of the world.
Right, so I suppose
I would suggest that we visit the giants today.
have we got enough of a window with the weather?
Yes.
Will we still be able to use our helmsman to go down?
Yes, because he only got on the helm to fly up, and now you're flying down. So the problem, though, is getting back up if you decide not to stay or not to do something from that point.
So what? That would take him over 12 hours, would it?
Well, it depends on what you do down there.
Right.
Well, if we want to come back up today and not stay on the giant village, someone else can all fly us up.
True.
I mean, we do have multiple spellcasters.
So maybe we should have a vote as to whether we should go down to that giant village straight away.
Yeah, I'm up for going down.
I'm
to
voting
Giant
yes.
Village.
If we
Yeah, I
do go
vote
down,
yes.
if we do go down, are we going to come up straight away so that Levica has plenty of time to cast the spells, or
You'd
Do it
probably
from
want to play
down.
it by ear.
I vote yes.
I mean,
Okay.
you won't know whether you want to come back up right away until you've done what you're going to do down there. So
True.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll. I suppose we'll order our ship to go to the North Pole, and tell them that we're gonna tell the other ships to rendezvous with them there.
Well, since Leva is going to be casting Descending tomorrow, we might be back on our ship tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, hold on a second. Were you gonna go down in the flitter, down to the? Because the village is on a lake. If you go down in the flitter, then Sun Fayun can take you. If you want to go down on your shuttle, then he can't. You'd have to get someone else.
I think we should go with the flitter.
Yeah.
It's less obvious for any observers or dragons, and also having the shuttle on the battle dolphin makes it more secure against any potential attacks.
All right, Solas, give me an intelligence check.
Intelligence check. Okay.
Wait, they are a spacefaring nation, aren't they?
No.
That's success.
No, as far as you know, the giants of this village are not specific. Like, they don't have any ships of their own. You haven't heard anything like that, but they do have contact with Spelljammers.
And Mailing told us that the king was on Spelljamming ship.
And you have also heard that they fight with dragons. I think you would realize it would be reasonable to assume that no dragon has territory where their village is, because these giants would fight that dragon.
Yeah, most likely.
So you're safe from dragons. So far, you would guess that you'd probably safe from dragons going down to this village.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the flitter would be less obvious.
No, that's
for
fine.
any-
That's fine. I'm just because you started. I felt that your character probably would have started putting some of that together.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the
Yeah, so
check.
true.
Oh,
And the
okay.
Mailing also told us that the giants fight with the dragons.
Well, that's what I mean, is that you would have put that
Yeah.
together, that they don't have a dragon doesn't have a
Yeah.
territory there. All right.
Flit is not big, so there should be somewhere for us to land.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So you we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream as you get down there, so I can give you a description of it. You board
Well, we
the.
might want to
Hmm?
retcon what camping supplies we're taking with us. So.
I'll
initially
let
need
you
to
guys
know
think
this.
about. You say that you're taking some camping supplies, and you guys can figure that out in between sessions if you want.
Mhm.
I just want to get a brief description
Yeah.
before we end the stream, so that people have something to look forward to next time, so to speak.
That's
So
flying
you board your flitter, and it takes 80 minutes to get down through the winds again. But it is clear. It is not raining. But like pretty much everywhere on this planet, you can see a storm moving in as you're coming down. How long it will come, it's hard to say. You've got a number of hours at least, though. You descend through. You can see the lake below you. The lake is filled with plant life, like seagrasses and on the edges mangrove trees and stuff like that. But you do see at one end of the lake It is cleared of all of that. There is a well-made wooden dock stretching out into the water, capable of hosting at least 2 decent-sized, galleon-sized vessels, maybe even 2 hammer ships, hard to say. And there are clearings at the shore capable of taking smaller vessels like a dragonfly, mosquitoes, that sort of thing, that can land on land. Probably not the bigger stuff, but certainly your vessel can easily land there. And you can see that the large trees, very similar to the one that Mei Ling's house was in, dot the shore, and in the great big boughs of the canopy are wooden houses of sturdy construction with great big ladders and bridges between them, and you can see figures moving about both on the ground and in the trees. And as you're descending, you realize that these are very tall figures, well over twice your heights.
What does their hair look like?
They have green hair, kind of greenish skin as well, and it is well groomed, but kind of reminds you of grass or leaves
Right.
as you are just putting your vessel down. And some of them are approaching your vessel. They're armed with spears, with steel tips, but not in a threatening manner as they approach your vessel and begin to hail you. And that's where we're going to pick up next week.
Well, their
I
hair's
didn't realise you were sponsored by Green Giant.
ho ho ho. Their hair's not messy, so we should be okay.
Yes.
Also, we've been told that this is for Village of the Friendly Giants.
Yes. All right, so that is going to be, let's see. Leva Sending is a 5th level spell.
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be that. Okay. That is going to be 2,250 for Leva.
Wow.
2,050 for Ockar. And
2050.
Yep.
Oh.
2,000 for Braxon, Finn, Lafdul, and Solas.
Only
2,000,
74,000.
Only, yeah.
What was it? 2,000.
Yeah, 2,000.
Only 2,000.
Oh, we're
No, I was
point
joking,
one.
Yeah.
Oh, only 2,000. I'm so sorry. I guess I can take that away from you, Lafdul.
At our pace, we'll probably hit level 20 in 2050.
Yeah, but keep in mind that XP gains aren't at a pace. You get big chunks when you have fights, and bigger chunks when you actually wrap up an adventure.
Yes, that was a joke. But it was also a joke of how long it takes us to do stuff.
It's not the XP that's important. It's making friends with cows.
And having fun.
Yes.
But the most important thing is ham.
Of course.
No, pickles,
Well,
pickles.
So I want to
getting
thank
close
you
to
guys
level,
for playing.
actually.
I'm sorry, what was that, Lafdul?
I am getting close on my thief.
I know, I gotta drain you again. I mean,
No.
I'm terrible.
I benefited from that despite the XP loss because I got more hit points than a leveler. Both my levels.
It's because you cheated by not keeping track. Anyway, thank you guys for playing. I really appreciate it, and thanks everyone out there for watching. We will be back next week for more of this, and we'll see what you guys do at the village of Sully Gatherer Clan. See you next time, everyone.
Game.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
Take
for
care, all.
watching.